Hello everybody and welcome back to our Ninjago 2015 coverages. This time we are going to be tackling the new season of Ninjago, which just premiered today, titled Ninjago Possession. And we're going to be talking about episode 45, Winds of Change. And as per usual, I'm joined by Eljay. How's it going, Eljay?
I gotta think up something. You see, it's the Winds of Change, Meso. And I remember saying during the finale, I was going to switch from Antics Ensued to something else, and I've been trying to think up something.
The winds blew.
No, that's very specific.
Corny laughs were laughed.
No, that's the end of every episode.
Well, this didn't happen at the end. The corny laughs happened at the start.
We're watching it in reverse.
Yeah. Well, as per usual, you can find a link to watch the episodes in the description below. So if you want to watch them yourselves and you haven't yet, go for it. But we're going to leap right into our recap of the episode, and then we're going to discuss it afterwards, as is customary. So LJ, go for it.
So the episode starts off in the 5 ninja running around on their dragons over the ocean. And they're telling jokes, they're roasting each other. It's like listening to an episode of TTV. It's pretty great, it's pretty funny. There are a lot of really good one-liners. All of a sudden, this huge fish that's trailing them starts jumping out of the water, and we find out it's their mission to protect the coast from this fish that's terrorizing the citizens. So, they trail it all the way to this boat. Boom! Fish on the boat. Day is saved. More corny antics. Corny antics? It's gonna bug me. More actions are to be had, and they get back to Sensei Wu's new tea shop. What was it? Inspiration Incorporated? No.
Steeped Wisdom.
Retailer's Catalog. Wisdom something?
Steeped Wisdom.
Steeped Wisdom. Wouldn't it be Seeped Wisdom? Because tea seeped... whatever. Okay, so Steeped Wisdom, new tea shop, kind of similar to the whole, Legend of Korra, the Avatar kind of thing. So they're starting up this new tea shop with Mia, Garmadon's
Misako.
wife, and Wu. Misako, yeah. They got a bunch of tea on the shelves and whatnot. So the ninja come back and they're like, yeah, we saved the day again, Sensei. And he's like, no, now I want you to distribute posters. And you have new uniforms. And they pretty much just became employees of the place that don't get paid, I assume.
They got paid, he said they all get a share.
Yeah, what's the share? Like, food?
Good point.
Actually, that's a pretty good share.
Very good share.
Anyway. So he says, go distribute these posters, but don't use your powers. Don't rely on your powers. They're like, oh, but Sensei. So they go out, and they're trying to get the word out there that this new tea shop is in place. They're like, come on, get it. And they're failing, of course. But then they're like, let's use our powers anyway. So they start using their powers, and everyone's super impressed, and they start actually distributing these papers. Kai manages not to burn any of them, surprisingly enough. Well, while all of this is going on, Lloyd has been called to a museum, basically a ninja museum that we actually saw in the beginning of the episode. There's this museum guard, and he's very funny. He's just messing with all the exhibits. He's trying to be a ninja, I guess. And Lloyd's been called to this museum because there was a disturbance. He meets the guard, and the guard drags him to the back of the store. The thing is, nobody called Lloyd to be there. Well, long story short, Lloyd gets possessed.
Yeah.
Wrap that up. He's possessed.
Moro!
So anyway, all of a sudden, when the ninja are distributing these papers, a wind blows through the city, and no powers again!
Yeah.
So, they run on back to the tea shop, while they have customers, no less. And they're like, we lost our powers! What do we do? Wind comes through. Of course, Sensei Wu knows who it is. It's Lloyd, but not Lloyd. Big fight breaks out. Come on. Don't do it. Antics. There are some... antics initiate. There we go.
You're a fool.
Antics initiate, and all of a sudden there's this huge fight between the powerless ninja and possessed
Spoiler
Lloyd.
alert. They get wrecked.
Yeah. So he's here specifically for Wu. More specifically, He's here for Wu's staff, which is his father's staff, meaning the staff of the Spinjitzu master. Of course, this has never come up in talk before. Why not? Fight breaks out. Tea is spilled everywhere. They get away. But not before Lloyd makes himself known to be inside his body, just possessed. Kai wants to go back, but nope. So at the end of the episode, we find out from Sensei Wu that the ninja are not the first pupils he's had. And of course, he had one more, the Master of Wind, not Jungle. And everyone's like, what? Whoa! He has a dragon! That just goes to show you how far behind the other four are. And episode ends.
Yup. So, this episode was very interesting. There was a lot. It just kind of threw us straight into the action with minimal build-up. And I liked that. Because not a lot of... We don't often get that. Last season was pretty much all build-up until the end. Now we're getting like the new villain. He's super overpowered, of course. Nobody else can basically do anything to him. Their Spinjitzu is worthless. They've lost their powers. They don't have weapons anymore. Like I guess all their stuff's gone. Somehow there's been so many iterations of the weapons. I've completely lost track of what happened to what.
Where did the elemental blades go? The ones I got at the end of the season where they beat stinking dragon dude.
Overlord. Yeah, it seems like there's been a lot of weapons. Like there was the golden weapons controversy. There was the stone army swords. There's techno blades, which weren't really weapons. So I understand why those are gone.
Well, the techno blades, the techno blades are excusable. They aren't going to do a whole lot outside of the techno verse.
Yeah, like Zane came at Moro with like these bootleg looking shurikens, and I was like, man, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, they're just these weird little silver shurikens. Hey, they're chrome.
Yeah, and Moro was like, shurikens, really? And he ripped a windmill off and threw it at him.
Yeah, that's a shuriken.
Yeah. So, I like the episode. I'm liking the concept of this season. Ancient villain who got sent to the cursed realm, and now he's back for vengeance or whatever. Yeah, taking over Lloyd. There was a lot of self-aware humor and references to the fact that Kai got usurped by Lloyd as the leader. Pretty hilarious. Like, there was this one guard, he was like, which ninja would you choose to be? And he was like, Kai, he's the main one, right? And he was like, no, that's Lloyd.
So what's Kai?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of funny. The jokes, I feel like the jokes are really good this episode. They're pretty much on par with Ninjago jokes. The characters bouncing off each other. At a few intervals, it felt kind of overbearing at times. Just a smidge. Just a little bit. Like they were really trying to make you laugh.
Mm-hmm. Quite right.
But I enjoyed it. I'm glad to be back in the swing of things, and I'm eager to get more into this season, because I know pretty much nothing about it, aside from
We know that there's ghosts, and there's going to be a new ninja, and they've done a pretty terrible job of keeping that a secret, who it's going to be.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I won't spoil it here for people that don't know. I have a lot to say when we get to that point. But, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. The sets thus far that we've seen, this is basically Ninjago's biggest set launch in a while, I believe. Especially with Air Jitsu. We're going back to the spinners kind of thing, that kind of play feature, which we haven't seen since 2012. So that in and of itself means that Ninjago's popular enough. It kind of came back after its pseudo cancellation. It resurged, and it's good enough to deserve a budget, especially now that Chima's gone, which was siphoning away a lot of the budget for action themes.
Rip in peace,
yeah,
Chima.
Rip in peace. You had a good run, but if you must be sacrificed to restore Ninjago to its glory, then so be it.
I feel bad
Well,
now.
listen, Chima may come back too at some point. But,
no.
yeah, it was fun while it lasted. It had a good run.
5 years.
Didn't last 5 years. What are you talking about?
Dude. No, I mean, it will be back in
Oh, I
5
see.
years. Like
Yeah.
Bionicle.
We're gonna get like a black and white display of Chima 2019 and go crazy about it.
Yep.
So a couple things I will say about the season before we end. For people that watch these, there are going to be a couple changes that you should probably be aware of. Namely, first of all, concerning the series itself, apparently the episodes are going to be aired in rapid succession. The current understanding is that we may actually see the entire season in the month of July.
What?
Like, apparently, episode 47 is being aired on July 1st, episode 48 on July 2nd, episode 49 on July 3rd. They're gonna just, like...
How many episodes do
We
we
do
have?
not know, I think. The current understanding is that it may be 10.
Okay.
But... Okay, yeah. According to a poster being handed out at most US LEGO stores, all 10 episodes of the new season will be airing within 2 weeks of each other in the US. From June 29th to July 10th, there will be a new episode every weekday. Now, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, maybe you only watch these for the Ninjago coverages, but we here at TTV have quite the jam-packed content schedule. And we usually do Ninjago coverages once a week. I don't know how we're going to cover this season, really, in the grand scheme of things. Especially because, you know, that's one thing, the episodes airing in such rapid succession. I don't know if we'll do a separate video for every episode or not, like we usually do. Maybe we'll do just like a cumulative retrospective, so as to not flood the channel. But also, for those fans of ours, as you may have heard, we're moving to a new platform. We're setting up somewhere else besides YouTube, not leaving YouTube. But we are setting up a Vessel account, which is a subscription-based video service. And our videos are going to be on Vessel 1 week before they're on YouTube. So there will be a slight delay with the Ninjago coverages. And if we end up doing a cumulative retrospective, it really won't matter, honestly. But if we do them episode by episode, it may matter. So, it's going to be unorthodox, how we're going to be covering this. However, if you want to watch our coverages timely as the episodes are released, you can go check out our Vessel account once it's up. And if you do not, if you don't really care, you just want to hear our opinions, then they will be posted on YouTube within a week. So just stay tuned. And it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this season, no matter how it gets aired.
Me too.
Honestly, that's pretty much it, unless you have any final comments.
You know what? Post some recommendations for the replacement for Antics Ensue in the comments.
Why do you bother
all.
replacing it? It's a tradition.
I just... winds of change, Meso. Winds of change.
I don't know. I think you're reaching. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. Leave your comments below in the description on what your thoughts are on this season of Ninjago. Leave your thoughts in the description. Wow. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I butchered that sentence. That was
Good
awful.
job.
Or leave your
change.
thoughts on the TTV message boards. Either or. And stay tuned for more coverage of Ninjago Possession. We will see you all next time. And goodbye.
Change.